What's going on, everybody? I should probably undeafen in Discord, unfortunately. My shit's all busted. But going to be talking with JimmyG here today. Hi, Jimmy. Uh-oh. What happened? No, it went stupid. Oh, he's muted. Oops. So, I don't know why it did that. Yeah, we're good. Whenever he's ready to come in, he's still starting his stream. I don't know if he can hear me. I'm sorry, dude.
Hey,
hey.
there we go. It worked. Like I was pressing the wrong mute button.
That's funny. So what's up, man?
Same old. Just hanging out, chilling, relaxing.
Starting much earlier than normal.
Yeah. I actually like this start time better because I don't have to worry about people getting off work and wanting to play. I don't have to worry about taking over the office to do the show with my wife in the other room trying to figure out dinner, and all of this. Like I can come in and I can help if prepping needs to be done for me to help her. So yeah. I like an earlier start time on Wednesday. I really do.
So here's the thing.
So many things.
I'm just going to say it now. Next Wednesday, because of Witch Queen's release, next Tuesday, next week's episode is probably going to be pre-recorded.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, it's fine to me. I mean...
Well, I'm just putting it out there so that
like
our audience... Well, I'm putting it out there for the audience that is watching us live, if there is anyone. I don't know.
I got one in Facebook that's tuned in.
Cool. But for those watching on my end, I don't have a view counter. I just try to ignore it and just act as I normally would, whether people are watching or not.
Right.
But yeah, so YouTube, this won't affect you at all. But for the live stream of the podcast next week is going to be pre-recorded because there's no way in hell you're getting me off of Witch Queen for at least a day or two after it comes out. So I'm just being honest, dude. Like I expect the same thing when something you're looking forward to comes out. So yeah. But that, and I will be streaming it when we normally would be doing the podcast. Because yeah, I've already talked to Kim and she's like, yeah, I don't mind you streaming till late on Tuesday. And then Wednesday I don't care because I have this to do. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm doing that. So I'm not even stopping, dude. So yeah.
No, yeah, real. And it works out though that Wednesday she's cool with it because I'm off work on Wednesdays. The kids get out of school early on Wednesdays. And I mean, Wednesday all in all is just a good day for me too. So
yeah. So if nothing else, like I'll try to do it. Like we might try to do it live. I'm not saying we're not. We are going to. I'm not saying we're not. I'm just saying as of right now, the plan is going into probably pre-recording next week's episode. At least that's my plan. So, but we'll see.
Right.
If you get on early enough, Wednesday morning we could film it and then there you go. But I don't know. He and I will figure that out hopefully and have something announced by next Tuesday. Because yeah. Anywho, you had some stuff you wanted to talk about. So
well, I mean, yeah, both yes and no. Like there was some back and forth ideas of just so the viewers out there again can get a good base and timeline on you and I. We've known each other for a really long time, right?
Yeah. Like
we did backyard wrestling together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we did backyard wrestling together. Yes, that was a thing. Yes, we did it. We even came up with names that society has stolen and said it was their own, like the Swanton Bomb. You know? That's crap. Like we said it, and then a month later they said it.
No, that was Jeff. That was like I'm gonna no. We called it.
I swear to God, I heard Trevor saying it long before I heard the WWF saying it.
Calling it something else. He was calling it something else, and that happened. But the Swanton, that was something Jeff Hardy. They were using that move back in like before I knew you guys. Like
I realize what you're saying, but they did not call it the Swanton. They called it the Sinton. Yeah,
I remember
the Sinton Bomb. We started doing backyard wrestling, and Trevor started calling it the Swanton Bomb. And then within a month, I heard them calling it the Swanton Bomb. I'm telling you, bro, our life is the Truman Show. Everything we do, somebody has taken and said, that's mine now. Like, Jill went to
Oh, I know
Disneyland
that for a
and she's like, this submarine ride should be a Finding Nemo ride. And then the next time she went to Disneyland, coming soon, Finding Nemo. Yeah, that happened. The Michael Jackson or the taxi ride or whatever it was over at California Adventure, she made a comment, this should be like a Monsters Inc. thing since that's the new thing. Coming soon, Monsters Inc. I'm like, bro, what the actual heck is going on? You know what I mean? And that's been like a reality thing that we've had to deal with most of the time we've known each other.
Yeah,
And,
stuff we've come up with, someone else ends up doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
So, but
like,
I mean, I've just put it out there. It's like, that's just a little history on you and I. Like, we've known each other through some weird crap.
okay.
So, Witch Queen and Destiny 2, just as a whole, I got into and started playing because of you. I've had people who were playing the game before, and I was not at all interested, not even a little bit. They kept playing, and then I think they even stopped playing, and I picked it up because of you. And I mean, I invested a shit ton of money into it right now because of this Witch Queen that's coming out, and I wanted to not, I wanted to not be all, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you.
I wanted to be at least on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to catch up on some of the story because now knowing that it's like an open world Halo, I was extremely interested because I liked Halo. I don't know. I almost canceled my Witch Queen order today.
I figured.
Because of yesterday.
I know.
And having to do the same thing just over.
So
and
I
over.
hate. So here's the thing, and I'm gonna be honest with you. When I had to do the step you're on, it took me 2 runs. But one of the biggest disadvantages you're at, and why you were having so much trouble, is you don't have this monster armaments like I do. I have an entire vault full of crap that I use or don't use. If you were on that level, plus your light level being higher, dude, easily 2 runs, you'd have been done, and we would have been off fucking around with something else. Like, you would have had the gun, and that.
I get that. That might be the case, but the reality is we had to do it at least 4 times.
Experience, though.
Yeah, and to somebody like me, that experience alone is enough to just say, I'm done. I'm gonna call it right there.
I know.
I was
kind of anticipating that.
No, like, legit, I'm looking forward to the campaign and doing the campaign after Witch Queen comes out. I didn't return it, right? I'm still doing it.
Well, I'm glad.
And I'm looking forward to it. But I also want to be able to do it and not get left in the dust. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so as far as that goes, because they're making it one giant even playing field for anyone coming into the game at the launch.
But it's not though. It's not though, because you're 1360 and I'll be what, 1310?
No, you'll be 1350. I'll be 1350.
So you're going to end up getting set back.
So okay. So
that's a whole nother thing that
hang on. Let me explain. Calm down. Let me explain. So I'm not being set back. The actual maximum light level you can get this season is 1330. The reason why my light level is 1360 is because the season pass gives you additional levels as you rank up. You've been getting additional light levels because of your season pass. Like, you could be 1300, but your gear doesn't drop at that level because that's not your gear level.
Okay. Well, so your character's gear level, like, you're high, right? Your character's like 1360, at least I'm pretty sure.
All of my gear is 1330. Like, none of it is higher than that. Yep.
Okay.
So when Witch Queen launches, I'll be 1350 like everyone else.
Doesn't that piss you off though?
No.
At least
because I'm going up 20 points. By default, my base level is 20 points higher than what it is now.
Okay, but you put all this work in to get up to 1300 plus. And now somebody who's brand new coming into the game comes in at the same level you are. I'd be pissed.
No, because here's the thing.
If I was a PvP player, I'd lose my mind.
Well, PvP is not power enabled. So you could have 0 power and still go in there and trounce people. I've seen people do it just for videos on YouTube where they use the starting rifle you get, that white rarity rifle. Yeah, they use that and go into PvP and just kick ass and take names because your power level doesn't matter in PvP. It does matter for the Trials of Osiris playlist and for Iron Banner, which is going on right now. If you went in there with that kind of power level, oh God, dude. Someone would just flick their finger at you and you'd be dead. So, yeah, power does matter to a point, but really it doesn't in PvP. Power matters more in PvE.
The release of the game and the adjustments of the numbers really don't affect anything.
It affects the PvE content, not PvP.
Okay.
So,
all right. So then that answers that question for me. That I'm sure we're going to get into more of that in a second. But I also want to put this out there. Like when it comes to gameplay, just basic things of games that's happening. That's what's happening in Destiny. They're altering and changing things.
mm-hmm.
Warzone is another game that I like to play. It makes me mad as hell, but I still like to play it. Right. A lot of the stuff that happens, I don't understand how some people get certain kills when I do the exact same thing and I get roasted. But then there are games where I'm the one doing the roasting. Like they just don't make sense at times. I got to win today. I got to win today on quads, and I was streaming it. So if you were tuned in, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in and watching. But they made it to where Vanguard, because Vanguard's the new Call of Duty game. Like there was Modern Warfare, Black Ops, now Vanguard.
Can you hear that, by the way?
Huh?
Can you hear the dog in the background?
No, I can't.
Good.
Because Vanguard is the new game, Warzone is adapting all of this Vanguard crap and bringing it into Warzone. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't want to be forced to do something. I don't want to be forced to play a game, which is exactly what Destiny does. It takes a content or something, whatever the task is at the time, and saying, okay, now go do it. Cool. But I shouldn't be forced to do like a specific thing. Call of Duty this is the only game mode. Sorry, sucks for you. At least Destiny, you can either go choose to do the campaigns or the mini bounties or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's straight up choice. Like if I don't want to go do PvP, I don't have to. There are bounties there that I can take and go do it, but I don't have to.
Yeah.
What's the dude in the tower? That's the white
Gambit.
Skinned, not Gambit. That's
Vanguard is
or not. No. The tower from Destiny.
Yeah, that's Vanguard. You're talking about Zavala. He's the Vanguard.
Okay. Yeah.
So the options you have, like when it comes to, not everything gives you choice. Case in point was the what mission you were doing yesterday. You literally had to do that. But there are things where you have a choice, like the seasonal weapon. You can choose to do that in strikes. You can do that in PvP. You can do that in Gambit. You do not have to do one or the other. Like you have the option to do one or the other. However, previously there were these pinnacle weapons that in order to get them, you had to play PvP, you had to play Gambit, and it made it feel less rewarding to get it. It was such a pain in the ass. I know because I had that experience with a couple of the PvP weapons, because in order to get them, you had to play the competitive PvP. I don't want to play that shit. So,
right.
But I did it because I wanted the fucking gun. Was it worth it? No. Was it worth my time and investment? I see it as an investment because my PvP skills came up, but I hated every fucking second of it, and I don't ever want to do that shit again. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
You now, because so many people were vocal about it, you have more choice over what you do. When it comes to stuff like the quest you did, though, they have it set up in a way, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, it's set up so that you have to grind this a little bit, because if you think about it, all the other steps you had to do, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, you were done. You know, go find a couple Atlas SKUs and then put them back in a thing. That was it. You know?
Yeah.
So
I
they
still
made
haven't
that
finished
part.
that one I was doing the other day. Just FYI.
Which one? The one yesterday?
Yeah. The one I
Well,
was
yeah,
doing yesterday. You're on step 7, but reality is it's only like you're right there. Yeah, I haven't finished it yet.
I know.
Okay.
And when you're ready to do that, hopefully tomorrow, hopefully, um, I promise you, the step you're on is 100 times easier than the step you just did.
Yeah.
Because the step you're on now, it's as long as you get a bullet into the champion, it counts. You do not
Yeah.
have to get the kill. So I double checked that, by the way, after you got off. I was like, I should make sure of that. And yeah, you don't have to get the kill. You just have to put a bullet in them, and that's it. So you'll be done with that. We might have to do 2 runs because some of the champions aren't spawning right now. But it shouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking throw my head through a wall kind of experience like yesterday. So,
Yeah. Oh, I had people who tuned in to watch my stream that were like, "Bro, you look annoyed as hell right now." I'm like, "Yeah, no, a little bit, a little
yeah.
bit."
Yeah, I don't
So I
blame you,
mean,
dude. I get it.
yeah, yeah. I like I said, I at least appreciate the fact that you realize that somebody like me and the way my brain works and my mentality of I want to go and I want to enjoy this content,
Yeah.
and at the same time I want to chill and play games with my friends, but I can't create good content and I can't chill and have fun if the thing is making me feel like I want to pull what's left of my hair out.
Yeah,
And I say what's left because it's already thin enough, bro. You know?
that was me a few weeks ago doing Trials of Osiris, dude. Like, I was not having fun. I get it. I get that perspective, but I also know that one of the things that was not helping the situation is that there stuff like this you can't get real help with. I mean, honestly, you really, really can't. You have to do it on your own, and that's not fun for anybody. When there's steps like that, there's nothing you can do to make it better.
Oh, you mean how
So
it's like, hey, go repeat this step?
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
got you.
Like if I was doing the same quest and I was having the same issues, I would fully understand where you're at more. But I didn't have that experience because this reason, that reason, so on and so forth. Regardless, with Witch Queen, we're both on the same playing field. Will we be at the same power level? Dude, I'm not going to lie to you. Probably not. Like, I'll probably be like way the hell up there already within 24 hours of the game of Witch Queen coming out. But that's because what I've already played.
What day does Witch Queen come out?
Witch Queen comes
Tuesday?
out on Tuesday, yes.
Yeah,
Now,
and
here's the thing.
You want to hear the best part about that?
What's that?
I'm not working. So I take my kids to...
What I would recommend you do then, don't do the legendary campaign. I'm doing that solo for my own thing.
I personally, when I play Halo, Call of Duty, any game, I always run legendary. And the reason behind it is achievements. I'm an achievement whore on Xbox. You know this.
I know.
So
my whole
when I
thing
play
is,
games, I go legendary because A, it improves your skill level. B, it has better rewards 98% of the time. And C, achievements, baby. Achievements.
So you won't have achievements, but you will have triumphs. That's a fact. And as far as like bringing your skill level up, I'm pretty sure you're going to get about 20 minutes in and you're either going to have to realize, oh shit, I might not have the skill level, or I'm going to have to fucking figure this out. Because there's going to be moments where you're going to be like, what should I use to do that?
Yeah, that's how all of it should be.
And
like
I can see,
that's my kind of jam, bro.
Yeah, and as far as rewards go, previously, legendary did not mean better rewards. It meant, okay, you get the same amount of rewards, you just had a little more challenge. That changed a little bit. Hang on. That changed a little bit over time. To best explain this, the Grandmaster Nightfall is one of the hardest difficulty PvE content in the game right now. It's going to still be the hardest difficulty content to do in the game. The campaign on legendary difficulty, you won't get any quote unquote exclusive rewards like you would from the Grandmaster Nightfall, but you are going to get double the amount of rewards and they will help you level. So you actually will get to the soft cap, which is 1520 by the time you finish the campaign. If you do it on Legendary. So, and there's going to be exotic quests to get new weapons. You get the machine gun from the season pass, which you should have. So you'll have that right off the bat. The glaive, which is a new melee weapon / shotgun weapon / shield, which is completely unbreakable. From my understanding, the shield on that weapon, and that's a special weapon. That's not a heavy weapon. So you're not like with swords where you give up your heavy slot for a melee weapon. The glaive is in your special slot. So you'll be able to use that thing, and you can still use the melee function of the glaive even if you don't have ammo. So you could still whack and bash everything to death. So if you ever wanted a melee weapon that just run around and smash shit in the face, that's the thing for you. Knowing you, that's probably going to be what you do.
I mean, I like my swords.
I know. So I think you'll enjoy that. There is an exotic glaive that's unique to the Warlock. It has the ability to drop a rift, a healing rift or whatever it was. So that'll be cool. But then, of course, you get the like I said, you got the machine gun coming. There's a hive worm freaking grenade launcher, which I have no idea what the hell that thing does other than shoot hive worm grenades.
I say it would be pretty cool if it was a worm. It's like
So remember that worm you saw yesterday when we were playing?
Yeah.
That's
hey, there's a worm right here.
That's what you're going to shoot out of this thing.
Sick. That's fun.
So
I can imagine shooting somebody at point blank and that worm goes over their face.
So here's the thing. The machine gun and the submachine gun will both have catalysts come next Tuesday. Like the machine gun comes in the season pass, so you'll get the catalyst that way, which will only make it better. And then the submachine gun, you get the catalyst probably from doing a little quest, and then you get it. It's done. There you go. Go do what you need to do to make it better, and now you have this badass weapon. I don't know much about these weapons other than what I've already told you about and what I've put out there in my streams. But I'm excited for everything coming with Witch Queen. You know, the campaign looks very, very good. It looks like it's going to be the deepest campaign since Taken King, which I know you didn't play that, so you don't know that Destiny players hold Taken King as the best piece of original new content when it first came out that's ever come into the game. Nothing has truly matched that at all. The original D2 campaign came close, but the Taken Kings campaign was so good, and you felt rewarded whether you got something or not from it, and you did. When you completed it, you got your first sword, because that was the first time swords were introduced into the game, and it was a hell of a ride getting there, and you felt like you were a fucking superhero. By the time the campaign was over, you were like, I'm a badass. Fuck this motherfucker. So wow. I'm kind of hoping that experience happens with Witch Queen. We'll see, you know. But I'm excited, and I know you coming into the game.
I tuned into your stream earlier today, and I saw you had your character on that, you know, your list of your guns, armor, all those like mods and stuff. And you had a cloak. I think it was you had it like level 7 or 8. Maybe it was at level 10. I don't remember.
All of my gear is pretty much.
It's almost maxed out. Okay. Now, can I ask you a question as to why? Why do you have that gear maxed out? And do you have other gear in your vault that's maxed out that you can switch in and out? You don't.
Currently, no, I do not.
Okay. Again, but you really ever run one set of gear?
Right now, yeah, pretty much. The only thing that rotates out are exotics. Unfortunately, being a solo player in this game, and this is one of the things Bungie is well aware of, and they're working to change it with Witch Queen's launch, is that if you don't have anyone to play this game with, you can't really do end game activities like the raids, the dungeons, stuff like that. And that's where you get some of this material from. The raids is the easiest way to get this kind of material because you get it as a drop for completing those encounters. So,
so on average, when you go do a raid or a dungeon, how many people should you have in your party?
So for a raid, you need to have yourself and 5 other people.
And the game won't just assign people to you at like random?
The raids and the dungeons and there are some activities that just don't have matchmaking, like the Grandmaster Nightfall. There's no matchmaking for it. The reason for that is because the level of difficulty and the requirements needed, like the communication level needed, just isn't there with random people. Even if you have communication skill where you can, text them or you can talk to them, they're not going to be on the same page as you.
Yeah, I would say most games now, or most gamers, when they go play games like that and they need a chat platform, they usually run Discord or like the Xbox app through their PC. If they're no longer Xbox people, stuff like that.
That's
like you and I, we run Discord when we're playing Destiny 2, but you used to have an Xbox, and when we played Warzone, I thought I remembered you jumping into the Xbox chat because my brother didn't have access to Xbox chat, or he didn't have access to Discord.
Yeah,
because he only had the headphones that connected to his Xbox only.
Yeah, no, I have the Xbox communication tab. I can log into that. The reason I prefer Discord is because
me too. By the way,
it's so much easier to use. It really is.
Well, it's not even that. The Xbox app cuts out and it's garbage.
Yeah,
like Discord, you have good communications, but
but no, I mean, I prefer Discord. Apparently, and this is something that I'm still trying to figure out, they are integrating Discord into PlayStation. And through this deal, I don't know how this is happening. I don't know where I remember reading it, but it's something I read this past week. Xbox is also going to get Discord integration, but neither PlayStation or Microsoft are getting it by the end of this year. It's supposed to happen sometime beginning next year. Both platforms are supposed to have it. PlayStation being the first. So
some sort of integration to where you can have comms.
Yeah. So you can interact with people over multiple platforms.
I don't see that being a thing on Xbox or PlayStation to where we can talk to each other when we're on 2 different consoles without having a computer accessible to us. The reason being is because those companies are just, I don't see them working together enough to have a multi-platform server for communications. I just don't see it.
Well,
unless
that's the thing.
Somehow they're going to manage, like, say, Discord is going to, like, they have the contract with PlayStation now.
Yeah.
Say if they have one lined up for Xbox, then that makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think
they're
that's what's
a
happening.
server of their own.
Yeah,
but I don't
that's
see
what I'm
Discord
saying.
I don't see Discord getting in on the Xbox action. I really don't.
I don't know. I don't remember where I read the article. I wish I could go find it. I really wish I could. I can't do jack when I'm streaming anymore, apparently.
Yeah, whatever.
But the article I read said that Discord was in talks with Microsoft to bring their software to Xbox so that crossplay would be less of a stress on the Xbox servers, because if your communication is through Discord, it takes a stress off of Microsoft servers, takes a stress off PlayStation servers, it takes a stress off of PC servers. So literally, it would make things a lot easier for the gamers, and the whole concept of play where you want to play becomes more of a thing. So if you have a preference for Xbox, you don't have to get a PlayStation if the game you want to play with your friends has crossplay. If it doesn't, well, make a decision,
Yeah.
But most games now that offer cooperative or multiplayer are offering crossplay. There's very few that are offering that, but the ones that aren't, they're probably not going to do well to begin with. So, but anywho.
I mean, that's like Nintendo. Nintendo's doing amazing, and they don't offer any sort of crossplay except for like Rocket League.
Well, to be fair though, they don't have to, because most of the games that run on the Nintendo platform are Nintendo exclusive games. There's very few games on that platform that are even remotely crossplay. So, like, I heard a rumor that sometime this year it's supposed to happen, and it's supposed to be like a quiet like announcement, like they're not even going to broadcast it. Destiny's supposed to end up on the Switch. If that happens, because Destiny's free to play. So if
the only reason why graphic wise, I don't know if Nintendo would be able to run it, the whole 8-bit graphics, you know?
Well, I mean, if you play it on the Switch has really decent graphics. It isn't a great graphics.
I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. Like I'm having fun.
Well, my thing is, if it happens, that opens a door for me, because my brother, he owns a Switch. He doesn't have an Xbox, doesn't have a PlayStation. He has a Switch. That's it. He's not buying either one of those. It's like, no, I'm good. If Destiny became crossplay, I probably could get him to play, and I would love to play this game with my brother. Although I guarantee you, I would immediately stop playing this game with my brother because he's an asshole. But I mean,
the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
No, my brother's an asshole.
Like, but so are you. So is Eric.
Not to the same level Eric is, dude. Like, come on, you know my brother. I mean,
you're just different ways, bro. You're different ways.
Yeah. I can be an asshole in completely different ways. He's just up in your face, I don't give a shit kind of asshole.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah. But you know when and where to filter. He doesn't. He really doesn't.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, that I love him to death. I'd give my life for my brothers. He can be an ass. He's still my brother. He'll piss me off. He'll push me to the moon, and like I'll just want to strangle him to death. He's still, he's still blood. And although there have been times we were this close to killing each other. I'm pretty sure you and David had the same thing.
I mean, there was times I punched my brother in the mouth. I still have the scar to prove it.
Was his mouth
We're
wide
brothers,
open
bro.
when you did it?
He had braces, and he was mid speech when I hit him.
That had to fuck up.
Boys will be boys, bro. Boys will be boys. I mean, I hit somebody with a baseball bat. I've, been knocked out by the same dude. Boys will be boys.
But here's the thing. Here's the other thing.
I had a state wrestling champ get in my face, so I returned the favor, and everybody was shocked. Like, no, I'm not having this. This is nonsense. Like, I don't care who you are, how tough you think you are. You're in my house right now.
Oh yeah, I've seen that side of you come out every now and again. It is honestly, back in the day, it was kind of a coin toss depending on the situation. Like, if you were in a good mood and didn't really give a shit, no violence. But if you were in a bad mood, even the slightest bit, fuck it, violence was coming. So, and I quickly learned, if you were in that kind of a mood, just say a prayer and have your back. So, but thankfully, I think that only happened once. Like, in all honesty, I think I only saw you get in a fight with me in proximity one time, and it was over before I could do anything because the guy was just laying there, and I'm like, well, fucker, you wasted all that energy for nothing. So, moving on. But you talked about how when we were growing up, we did stupid ass shit. Look at kids today, dude. They're it saddens me that more kids sit inside than they go outside. Now, I understand situations where you just can't control that. Case in point is my brothers. He and Katie don't have the time to constantly take the kids out. Plus, they live in an apartment. It's not like they have a park that's safe for the kids to go play at whenever they want.
Right.
But they work their butts off to make sure the kids get out and go out and play and have fun. But there are families who live in houses, who have backyards, kids who have access to these things, and they stay inside and play freaking video games and sit on their tablets. And I'm like, man, go get in the fucking dirt, please. Get some dirt under your nails.
I kicked them off of electronics, right? And no joke, dude. I kick them off electronics. It's like immediate meltdown, throwing a fit, literal kicking, screaming, jumping up and down nonsense. And that's it. You've lost it for the day because of and maybe even tomorrow if you keep it up. I don't care. I'm over it. Right? And then eventually they calm down and they'll go play. And they'll look, there's this, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm going to go play. But that I'll go play very quickly turns into I want you dead. I'm like, whoa, bro, calm down. Like my oldest has vocalized to my youngest. I mean, it sucks. Clifton has told his little brother,
"Oh God,
I wish you were dead." I'm like, no, that's not okay.
No.
But it's got nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with my wife. It's really got nothing to do with him either. It's just he's got the same kind of learning disabilities and things going on mentally that I had when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to learn how to work through his thoughts just like I needed to do. And believe it or not, video games actually help him learn how to process. That's why I let him play more games than go outside and play, but I also don't take full, like I kick him off. Go swimming, go ride your bike, go play hockey, go play soccer.
Yeah.
Like I make sure they are physical, they're physical. And they were home for a week because they came in close contact with somebody from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We went out in the front yard and we grabbed boxing gloves, target mitts, the bob and weave ball, and a chest shield. And we just straight up boxed each other. My 5-year-old, my 9-year-old, and myself, all boxing gloved up. Pow.
I won't lie. I would have been laughing my ass off watching you and the kids play. Because as much as that's you.
Oh, no, there was no playing. No, there was no playing.
That's the thing. I know that.
Yeah, there was no playing. Like we would do our routine and then we would go for a run and let the other one do a routine and then they would go for a run and we would cycle. So whoever's working out is doing their workout either with me or with the bag, and the other one's running in the front yard, running circles around the driveway, grass, like the whole front yard. And then they would switch. And now this one's going to go run and this one will work out. And then we'll all three run. So I mean, it was entertaining. And yes, it was very nice to say, get the hell out of the house. Get your nose out of electronics. Just stop.
But my thing is, like, again, this isn't attacking anybody. There are parents who would rather, because it's just so much easier, let their kids sit there and be stuck to it. And these kids just don't get it, that this is not just a luxury, but this isn't what you're supposed to be doing. You're a kid. You need to go outside and work. You need to go play. You need to go get your hands in the dirt. Go make a mud castle or something, Go eat a mud pie. I don't really do that. But you gotta get outside. You gotta play. You gotta go out there and do something. And I understand there are parents who just don't have the time or don't have the locale where they safely can let their kids go outside. But get them. They don't have to necessarily go outside. You can still have them play inside. Hell, I remember. I don't know if you remember the massive, and I mean fucking massive storm that hit in like the early 90s in San Diego, to where it was like goddamn tornado going on all over the city. Like the wind was blowing, the rain was pouring, lightning, power was going out everywhere. We didn't have power because I lived in housing at the time, naval housing with my family. Yeah. And my mother told me not to go outside. Well, I'm a dumbass. I went outside. I played in the fucking rain.
I was probably outside too. Like, no joke.
I got sick as shit, but because we had no power. What?
Okay. Saying you went outside and got sick is very different from I went outside and played in the rain and I got sick. Because you don't get sick from playing in the rain, bro. You don't get sick from being cold.
No, dude.
That's the number one thing that people go out that they say is, I don't want to go outside and play in the rain because I don't want to get sick. You're not going to get sick from being out in the rain, bro.
No, you won't get sick from being out in the rain. You'll get sick. Like, no, I basically got the flu is what happened.
Yeah.
And so me going outside and playing in the freaking freezing ass rain, even though, yes, it's California, my body was not prepared for the kind of cold I live with now. But it's
I mean, your body's
howling
still not prepared for the cold you live with now. What's your warmest temperature over there, bro?
right now. It's like
Yeah,
it's like 50,
yeah.
but
You want to know what my
it's tail
coldest
end,
temperature here is?
like 50. I know, fucker. I used to live there. Anyways, no, but it was like it was so bad. I came inside, but anyways, getting past all that part. After I got over puking my guts up, we had no power for like 3 days. Well, this is when, we first got our Nintendo, and I didn't give a shit. I sat there and read a book. I drew, I messed around with board games and stuff like that. And it's like, you don't have to have them go run around and be maniacs to keep them entertained,
Yeah.
Give them something to do. As long as they have something to entertain themselves, forget it. All you got to do is just keep an eye on them. You can do your thing. Just, what are you doing? Don't fuck with that, It's not that hard. But if you let them sit there on their fucking tablets and their phones and their games, your kids' brains are not going to be doing the things they need to be doing. Not always. They got to go out and explore. They got to, and it's something that I watched a video of this kid literally sit there and bitch and moan and whine and cry about his parents taking away his computer and his Xbox and his tablet and how he was going to have them arrested for stealing from him. And all. I'm like, boy, you are lucky your father and mother have not beat your ass for going online and complaining about this to this level.
Oh my God, dude.
If that had been my kid, oh no. I'd have snapped his phone right in front of him and been like, you want this to happen to everything else?
Yeah.
I don't care if you bitch and whine, but do you do that to me? And that's fine, but not to the world. No one needs to hear about your punishment.
Yeah, no, here's the sad thing is that's verbal abuse or the fuck's it called? It's not physical, it's like emotional abuse, right? So yeah, no, that's 100% like I get what you're saying, but honestly it's not okay to abuse. However, punishment is punishment. So like
that's what it was.
If you lose stuff and then you're going to go online and bitch about it, you spank the kid. Period. And then he calls the cops, and the cops come. And they go, "Did you lay a hand on your head on your child?" I said, "I spanked my child." And last time I checked, spanking is not illegal. There is a difference between spanking and abuse. And I had a law enforcement person tell me that to my face. I had some parent that wouldn't keep their nose out of their own business. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to come into mine, and they were like, "You can't spank your child. That's child abuse." I looked at this person and I said, "You know what? Why don't you call the cops and let the cops decide? I'm not going anywhere. You want to see if my kids are fine? Go ahead. Call the cops. Let them come and talk to me." And then they came. "Did your daddy hit you?" "No." "Does your mommy hit you?" "No." "Do they spank you?" "Yeah." "Why do they spank you? Because I did something bad." "Excuse me, officer, is spanking illegal?" No, it's not. It's a form of punishment. It is against the law to ball up your fist and hit a child, but it is not against the law to spank your child. And children, they don't get it because schools are like, if somebody hits you, remember to turn them into the authorities and this and that and da 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 da. I'm like, bro, it is. It's schools and society and everyone. Don't spank your children, and that's why children grow up and they're the way they are.
There's an entire generation that went unpunished. Like they didn't get physical punishments. And they're now in their early 20s, late teens.
Yeah.
And they're just, I know some of these guys. Like I talked about, I think it was like, I don't know if I talked it on the podcast or not. I knew some guys who just, their parents never spanked them. Like if they got in trouble, they got stuff taken away. That was it. I'm sorry. As a kid, I got beat. Like, I didn't get a spanking. I would get beat because my parents, unfortunately, had a temper. They would openly acknowledge that they did wrong by going too far, and they would do that when I was a kid. They would openly tell me, like, we're sorry, I went too far. I shouldn't have done that, And I understood because it made me mentally grow up fast enough to know, okay, mom and dad have lost it. I need to hide. So,
yeah. I've got to that point too where my wife and we have apologized to the kids because we overreacted, and they've apologized to us for overreacting. Like when you do something wrong, you acknowledge it.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about growing up and maturing.
Yeah.
I'm not a bully on purpose. Like I'm a bully to bullies. I'll give
Yeah.
you that. I always stood up for the kid who was getting bullied against the person who was doing the bullying. Or if I saw one person bully my friend, but they had no idea who I was, I would return the favor without my friend knowing. And then that person would then go to somebody they could bully and take it out on them, and I would stop them. They'd be like, "You want me to stop bullying you? Stop bullying them."
That was me in high school, dude. Like I was bullied in elementary school and in junior high, and then high school came, and I just got tired of getting pushed around. And I mean, I didn't really care if people fucked with me. It didn't bother me anymore. It just whatever, fuck off. I don't give a shit. Screw
Yeah.
with someone I'm friends with or my brothers.
That
Yeah,
was the
no.
last podcast we discussed that.
Yeah,
Like my mom, family's family.
yeah. But I look at society now, and you have all these, be a star, don't be a bully, all this crap that's out there. And I call it crap because as much as I would love to see that kind of stuff go away, the bullying and stuff like that, it it has changed from when we were kids. When we were kids, I got bullied because I was fat and because I was one of a very small number of Latinos living in an area that was predominantly white or African American. And I would get bullied for that stuff. Okay. Didn't really understand it, didn't give a crap. I just hated that I was getting messed with.
Excuse me, sir. I don't like it when you call me white. Okay, I prefer Caucasian or non-Hispanic. That's what I have to check on the box. I don't get offered white. Okay, I get offered Caucasian and non-Hispanic.
I'm gonna fucking kick you when I see you. Anyways. You know what's sad? I guarantee you there's someone who's gonna see that and go like, I agree with him, and don't realize you're totally being a jackass.
Oh god.
And it's like, and just to be fair, for those that are offended, I don't give a shit.
I do care. I apologize if I offended anybody with that comment, but I thought it was funny.
I thought it was hilarious. For a second, I thought you were being serious. Then I was like, wait, this is James. Never mind. This is ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me, sir.
Fucking kick
I do
you.
not appreciate it when you call me white. Okay.
But no, it's like I got messed around with that kind of stuff all the time. And it didn't bother me until one day I'm getting out of the car. My mom had just picked us up from school. This guy's driving by and he starts shouting certain obscenities at
Yeah.
my mother.
Yeah.
I knew what one of the words meant at this point, and by instinct I wanted to go and
Rip it.
yeah, I wanted to go and do something because he hurt my mom, because I could see her. She was in a great mood. She was happy. We were home, you know. And then this guy went and just totally crapped all over her day. And she went from that to.
Thanks.
And so it's like,
Yeah.
no, like I want to go hurt this dude. And she saw what I was about to do and said, Mijo, take Elliot inside. Because Elliot was still like, you had to help him get around and stuff. And so I was like, all right, fine. Take him inside. She's already like beelined it in there with Eric. We get inside and she's all, come on, you want a cookie? I made cookies today. And she was just trying to, forget what just happened, but also calm me down because she could tell I was going to go do something stupid. And mind you, I was like 6, 7 years old. I wasn't going to succeed in what I was going to try doing, but I was still going to try. But she didn't want me to do anything stupid and get hurt. So this was her way of just like diffusing it. But then I told my dad, and I'm pretty sure you know where this story ends up going from that point on. So
I honestly, I feel like I understand, because I remember your mom being the type of person that was just a very, you know what, let it go. Because if I say something, it's going to get way out of control. Let it go.
She was that way a lot until you finally truly crossed that line. And it was, the downside to that was, for me, unfortunately. And it wasn't just my mom, but my mom and my dad, they would stow stuff, they would stomach stuff, they'd bottle stuff up, and then me and my brothers would do something stupid. Well, all that anger and rage that they had towards something else, someone else, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah. And so that's where I get the apologies and I all this stuff. I got to a point where I just like, it didn't bother me because I understood. Look, as far as I was concerned, yeah, it sucked being a kid because that shit would happen. But at the same time, my parents they didn't drink, they didn't do drugs, they weren't out doing anything that could risk our family. So looking back now, I wouldn't change the situation. As much as it sucked at times, I wouldn't change it because as much as it did suck for me, my brothers didn't have to deal with it. And it didn't change my parents any more than it would have if they'd gone and started drinking to deal with the pain and frustration of the world. Especially my dad.
Right.
Like my dad bottled everything up. My mom, she could let stuff go a lot easier than my dad could. My dad held on to everything. It could be 5 years from now and he'd still be like, motherfucker. So
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with this, but let's get back to
I don't know. We were
we
we were on Destiny and Halo and Call of Duty, and then we went off the whole road to personal.
It happens all.
The whole road to personal. Welcome
I swear,
to the
dude.
road to nowhere, and you know the journey that it takes us on.
You're starting to get it now. But no,
Oh, God.
I wish we could stay like solidly on topic. So there was other
Well,
stuff.
it
about
would
the
help
game.
if we had a topic that was like a good hour-long topic. Today, our topic was, we could discuss this for about 20 minutes, but you know.
Well, there was more about like Destiny that you said you wanted to talk about, and like Witch Queen and so on. And
well,
as far as
it's not that I want to talk about. It was more of a, I'm sure that we were going to talk about. You know, when it came to the game, you basically answered everything because you know that in Destiny, my character that I have, I like the helmet, I like the robes that I had before. That you said that the robes I'm currently wearing are the robes I should use. But like I'm more about the way that it looks, not about what it's doing, and that's unfortunate because I can't change the stats. If I could change the stats, then I would have the outfit I want to wear like all the time right now.
So here's the thing about that. So when Witch Queen launches, you will have access to everything at level, so you could use whatever you wanted. You won't have to.
No, what I'm saying is like, so if you remember the robes that I was wearing,
you were wearing
it was like Phoenix
Protocol.
Something.
Yeah.
So I had on those robes, and then I had a helmet that was the same colors and looked kind of like Ant-Man, and actually like looked like a helmet that belonged on a person, not some weird alien head.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I had that going, and I was going to take the robes that I was currently wearing and just the mod where you like bring it to the current level, to the better level.
You were gonna bring it up. You were gonna up power level. Got it.
Right, but you told me to use the robe, not to wear the Phoenix Protocol one, because it like did something with my super.
Yep.
But it, like when it comes to the appealing stature, like if I'm looking at my character, I'm that guy, man. Like I want to have it be a certain way, and if the stats on this robe want to be on what I want to wear, I should be able to say, okay, if I'm merging it into it, why can't I just pick what stats I want? You know what I'm saying? The Phoenix Protocol has these stats, and I'm merging this one into it. Why can't I have these stats?
So this goes back to like you've played, and I mind you, I've never played the game, so I don't know if this is the case. You've played Elder Scrolls. You know how there's certain pieces of gear that this piece of gear will do this, give you this ability, but only this gear will give you that. That's the same thing with exotic armor. That being said, from an aesthetic point of view, I have always wanted the ability to use the cosmetic appearance of the exotic armor. Not necessarily the ability, but at least the cosmetic appearance of it on my normal
Yeah.
gear. If that was something Bungie did, I would be thrilled because I would 100% invest in that in the game, whether it's time or in-game currency. If I had
See,
to
I was
actually
gonna
spend
say,
money, I would actually do that too.
and that's what I was gonna say, is in Elder Scrolls, sure, the armor concept, like how you just described, is a thing. But there's also an accessory that you could put on and your clothes look exactly the way you want them to look. And you're
Yeah,
wearing the armor that you want to wear because it works for you.
yeah,
And that's, I honestly, I miss games that do that. Like Warzone, for example, I wish that I could create my character. Like I want to be able to pick, okay, I want this dude to be wearing this and this and this and this and this, and just have a custom character. Um, Destiny, if I could create 100% like customized, like how WWE used to be. You remember the WWE
yeah.
games? Yeah, the create a character.
I
I swear to God, I would spend a week building my person before I ever hit a punch button. You know what I mean? Like I legit
yeah.
sat there and I made me 100% tattoos and everything in my rash guard. Have I got done at the beach because we used to go swimming at the beach and then go to your house for backyard wrestling, and I would wear my fucking rash guard when I wrestled. Remember?
Sometimes you did, not all the time,
Right.
but
Right.
I
No,
get your
but
point. I get
that
your
was a
point.
thing. So when I created my person in the game, I wanted to wear my rash guard. So I did. And I was able to put, like I said, my custom tattoos. I was able to put all this stuff in there. And I wish I could do that here. You know, if I wanted to make my person have purple hair, but be the rock wall, you know, I should be able to do that.
And I agree. As far as the appearance base, like the actual physical appearance of your character, there's very little you can do to change that. And I kind of understand why, but when it comes to the aesthetic looks of your armor, I I wish there was more customization in that. As far as like, it's not a matter of, okay, here's this skin for an armor piece we put out. You can now unlock it and use it on any armor piece you want, except for exotic. That's the part that I hate. I wish they would make it so that the cosmetic
Yeah, I don't
appearance of
agree with that.
exotics.
I feel like an exotic is the same as a legendary in the aspect of if you're wearing it, you're wearing it.
From a cosmetic standpoint, if it's just that, if that's the only reason you want that look, I don't see a problem with it. I mean, unless there's somehow, and this could be why it's not a thing. It could be that somewhere in the geometry of the armor that they've built, because it is built. Like, it's not like if they just scribbled it on a piece of paper and stuck it in the game, but they had to build it so there. If there is something in the actual geometry, the physical element of it in the game that makes it so that it can't do that, I'm a little more understanding. But I doubt that's the case because exotic armor pieces have cosmetics that you can wear for them that change
Yeah,
the physical appearance as well. So I don't know.
yeah. I was
It's
gonna
something
say
I just
I just can't see it being like an actual thing like that because
I don't think it
I
is
feel like
either.
if you write a code, you write a code. You know?
Well, I mean, with guns, it makes sense that the guns, because like a perfect example of that is Borderlands. In Borderlands, the weapons, the cosmetic appearance of your character has no effect on your anything. It doesn't affect any stats whatsoever. None of that. It literally is your cosmetic appearance. But guns and certain mods have parts of that piece that are randomly generated, mind you. Even legendaries have randomly generated parts in Borderlands. But it's those unique parts that make it the legendary or make it unique weaponry or unique mods, so on and so forth. And so in that element, it makes sense that it's locked like that because of that part that's unique and gives it the weapon its special ability. We don't really have that in Destiny. Like, as far as I know, the armor is its own thing. It acts as its own function. Even if you put a cosmetic layer over it, it doesn't change the effect of the armor. It just makes it look different. With weapons, that's a thing. I know that for a fact. But why can't we use the cosmetic appearance of our exotics on our armor? I mean, yes, you're taking this look and putting it on a legendary piece of gear. You're not taking the perk, just the look. I wish that were a thing, because then you could use whatever the fuck you wanted and it wouldn't matter. The only reason I can see them not doing it, and the reason for why, is because of Trials of Osiris and the way that system works, in that when you're loading into a match, it shows you the weaponry and the exotic armor piece if the players are wearing one when you load into the match. So there's that moment of, okay, he's got this gear, and you can identify it by appearance.
Okay, as I see, it should still have that, even if you are wearing a custom, or not custom, but an accessory cloak. If it were, as if you really can look at it that way,
So
because
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, so say you're wearing that cloak, like in Elder Scrolls, right? I go, okay, appearance, boom, turn it on, ding, and it's like, boop, here you go, your character, which is creatable by the game, or it's a base like the game has, so it knows and recognizes the body, whatever. It puts you in the garbs. And if it doesn't matter if I'm the smallest little elf or the biggest little monster ogre, like it's the same item and it adapts to whatever size, physical size the character should be. So like if you're wearing let's just say the Phoenix armor, the exotic Phoenix armor.
Mm-hmm.
And if I hit that switch to on for an accessory that puts me in a bathrobe, the dimensions of the bathrobe is what you should see. Even if the Phoenix robe had like shoulder pads that come out, 5 inches or 12 inches off my shoulders. If I don't want you to see those 12 inches and I turn that thing on, then there you go. That's the way that it should be. It's like you should see me in a bathrobe, not the gear that I'm wearing. And now if I'm wearing that gear and you shoot it and I don't have it turned off, you shoot it and it registers as part of the body, like, hey, you're hitting this. Then if you shoot that spot and I'm in my accessory, it should still do the same damage. Like treat it as if the armor's there, just not there.
So I see and understand what you're saying. The thing I'm pointing out is that in trials, it's not a matter of changing the geometry of the gear. What happens if you're using, okay, so let's say I was using the Phoenix Protocol chest piece, right? But I have it I've made it look different. What I'm saying is the exotic gear should be able to stay that look no matter what, but you should be able to put that same look on other exotic gear. The problem is, and you're not looking at the game like I am, if I was to look at an individual's character, just at a glance, I can see exactly what they're using based off the look. Like they're wearing legendary armor, but then they have this exotic piece on. So
yeah, I get that point.
The reason
my
why
point is if I have that appearance switch on, you shouldn't be able to do that. Like you shouldn't have to worry about what my character's wearing. And if you go into a trial where it says, hey, your teammates or opponents are wearing this, or they have this, then you at least know that somebody has it. I mean, are you going to go out of your way and pay really good attention as to who it is you're shooting because they have that specific piece of armor? No. Because if you do that, you're not going to kill anybody ever. You're going to kill every person you see because that's how shooters work.
In honesty, yes. In honesty, yes. Again, I'm just looking at it from why this might be a reason. I'm not saying this is a good reason. I'm just saying this might be the reason why they haven't done it yet. For all I know, we don't know what all is actually happening when Witch Queen launches. We know most of it. We know some of it. There's stuff that they're going to sneak in there and surprise. Here's this. You can now wear exotic armor on legendary gear. You can use the cosmetic appearance. That could be a thing. I don't know. We'll find out on Tuesday. You're right. Probably not. Probably not. But it would be fucking cool if it did become a thing.
It would
because
that would be neat.
Then I could have the exact look I want for my character. Would I use all exotic pieces to make my look? No. There's some legendary gear that looks awesome, and I'd rather use that. From the aesthetic appearance of it, yeah. As far as the actual exotic I'm going to be using, well, that depends on what I'm doing. And I'll switch shit out as I need to. But I get your perspective on things. The main reason why I was telling you to switch to the higher level and not infuse that was because at the time you were using more of the Stormcaller. You were using the Arc subclass. And so I was trying
I like
to
the arc subclass. I'm not gonna lie.
so again, and this is why I
I
was
also
telling you,
like
don't.
with stasis. I
Yeah,
like stasis a
stasis.
lot too.
So just here's the other thing, and this is the thing. I don't know if I've really had a chance to explain this to you. Come Tuesday, I don't think you've really used Void. You've
That's the
seen
purple swirl.
that's the purple swirl. So
Yeah, I used that in the beginning, like the very, very
yeah,
beginning.
well, that entire subclass is going to be on par with how the stasis works. Now, unfortunately, you haven't unlocked any of the fragments, any of the aspects, so you don't even know just how much stuff is in stasis. Like
Yeah,
there's a
I don't have a clue.
shit ton.
Yeah.
You will still have to do the quest steps to get that. However, on Tuesday, when the Void 3.0, as it's being called, goes live, you won't have to go do anything. You could just start tinkering with it, and you can get an idea, for you at least, what stasis will be like when you have all this extra options available. You'll have more custom, like you'll have more control over what you do and how you control your character and how your character is built, what super you use, what abilities you use, so on and so forth. It's gonna be a lot. I'm warning you right fucking now. It's gonna be a
I
lot.
don't say I don't mind when things are a lot. I have if I have an expectation, I would like it to meet the expectation.
Well,
You
some of the
know.
so right now there is a mixture of abilities that each class has. That's going to become more universal with the void change to the all subclasses. So you'll see things that you wouldn't normally see. The one things that are staying the same is that the warlock is still going to be using quote unquote space magic to regenerate grenades and heal itself. The Titan's going to be doing a whole lot of exploding of everything, and the Hunter's going to be going invisible a lot more. That's really the only key things that I've noticed are changing, is that each class is going to fill a specific role more than it does now with these
Mm.
changes. And this is also coming to the solar and the arc subclasses over the course of the next year as well. So they will all kind of fall in line this same way. And then Stasis is going to get some additional stuff toward the end of the year. And then we'll get into the next expansion by that point. So there you go.
Okay.
So yeah,
Interesting.
it's a full year of content that they've got planned for releases with the updates of the subclasses and how they're going to be better and more user friendly and more like customizable to your play style, as opposed to, okay, pick that tree and put that exotic on. All right, that's all you can do. Now it's, okay, I can use this exotic with these abilities and that, and oh Lord, I'm gonna go kill everything. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's why I
Yeah.
would love to get you more of the stasis aspects and fragments and stuff, because dude, the warlock stasis is nuts.
Yeah.
Like
I like stasis. I'm not gonna lie. That class is or subclass is very intriguing. Even when it comes to the melee, my not really melee, but my stasis finishing move, the right bumper, as if it were melee.
mhm,
Um, if it's full, I shoot out that
that
little
little
crystal.
stasis orb, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, that's pretty awesome. I like that a lot.
So
I'm not gonna lie.
there are exotics that can um, send that little orb out further. There's an exotic that has that ability. There's an exotic that by using the melee just period will heal you or will make your melees more powerful. So there's so much that can be used right now with stasis that that's one of the reasons why they're doing these changes to these other subclasses, is they want you to have more options and more choice and more freedom for how you play and how you build your character, so that it feels like you're in more control of what you're doing, as opposed to, this is what you have available, that's it.
Right.
So, and I'm overwhelmed by it because I don't know everything that's in there 110%. I know a good portion of it. I'm looking forward to exploring and messing around with it and tinkering with it, just like everyone else is. But if you start playing after Witch Queen, so anyone who comes into the game after Witch Queen, they'll have to go through an entire process of getting everything for the Void subclass unlocked, and then that'll be the same for the Solar and the Arc. I think I'm not entirely sure about that, but for
So, I mean, essentially, that's the same crap for me. Is I'm gonna have to go through and actually do the steps.
Void, Arc, and Solar, no, you won't. For Stasis, yes, because everyone had to do it. It didn't matter whether you'd play the game or not, because Stasis was added when Beyond Light came out, so everybody had to do it. No one had this. No one was given it.
So what was the first Beyond Light's one of the expansions? What was the first one called?
The initial game, or the initial expansion?
Destiny 2 blah.
The initial game was Destiny 2. It was just Destiny
2. And then each expansion has adapted. Now, like, it says Destiny 2 Beyond Light. The next will say Destiny 2 Witch Queen.
Your little thumbnail will say Destiny 2 Witch Queen, because that's the main expansion you're in. However, it also changes with the seasons. So it'll still say Destiny 2 Witch Queen, but the background, the logo itself, that might change to reflect the current season. Kind of like what Call of Duty does in Warzone, where the logo will change as each season progresses, or so on and so forth. The exact same thing happens for Destiny. But it's technically Destiny 2 Witch Queen, because that's the base content you need to do pretty much everything in the game at that particular moment. So
gotcha.
So yeah, you have everything at right now, from my understanding. You have Witch Queen.
I do. Yeah, I bought it. I did. I bought it all.
So you have nothing locked out. The only things you, as of right this second, have locked out are the seasons prior to right now. That content was locked out to you, but the exotic items that were in there, you'll be able to get those through some way when Witch Queen comes out. I know the Hawkmoon hand cannon. I know you don't like hand cannons, but the Hawkmoon and hand cannon will drop from Xur. The Dead Man's Tail, which is a scout rifle, that's really, really, really strong, really powerful. That'll drop from Xur as well, because both those exotics have random perks that happen for it. So that's a thing.
I say I don't really mind any of the weapons. Like, I don't mind single fire. It's just more fun to have fully automatic.
So that's another thing that's coming with Witch Queen. There will be a toggle in the accessibility options where you can make single fire weapons. Not all of them, most of them, like hand cannons, scout rifles, pulse rifles.
But there's a difference. Full auto. But there's a difference between you pull the trigger and it goes boom, 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 like full auto, and then you pull the trigger and it goes ba 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 ba. You know what I mean? There's a difference.
I know. What it,
and if you got a submachine gun, it's like.
So this toggle is the reason they're introducing it is because there are players who play Destiny who don't have the ability to pull the trigger every single time you're supposed to pull the trigger for like a pulse rifle, a scout rifle, a hand cannon.
Yeah,
they they have been asking for the option to just pull the trigger once and the gun will just fire. I have this issue myself where with pulse rifles, I like pulse rifles. I like the burst damage, but I also like the precision feature that it gives you and the little more range you can have with those. Scout rifles are single fire, lots of range. Problem is, they pull the trigger once, you get that burst or that one bullet, and then that's it.
Yeah. Well, see, another issue that I have is people like myself, if I pull the trigger, I can't always pull the trigger repeatedly. Mm-hmm. So, like, when I was younger, I had, like, quick fingers, quick hands. And now I've got carpal tunnel in both hands, and I've got neuropathy in one hand. So my hands don't work the same as most. Yeah. I've actually considered putting the trigger locks on, but then I can't play. Like, I try, but just so the range of motion is, it's a memory thing.
And so that's the thing that they're trying to fix, so that hand cannons and scout rifles, pulse rifles, with Witch Queen's launch, it'll be a toggleable feature that turns semi-auto or burst fire weapons into a full auto firing. So all you have to do is pull the trigger. It'll still fire one bullet per shot, as it normally would if you hit the trigger every single time, but it will
Yeah.
do it automatically, so you don't have to keep spamming that trigger button.
Yeah, exactly. So
Like
it's not going to fire like a fully auto. It'll fire like you're spamming the button a bunch.
basically,
So it will go boom, 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 boom,
except you
boom,
just go
boom.
boom, 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 as opposed to
Yeah,
boom. Oh shit, you know.
yeah,
Because I've
exactly.
had that happen to me. Like I was doing Crucible, I tried firing the pulse rifle normal, like pulling the trigger every single time. I I don't know, something just the trigger of reminding myself to pull the trigger again goes away. Like it just slips out of my mind for a second because I get caught up in the moment.
Kill,
It also
kill.
doesn't help. It also doesn't help that I've been using the full auto mod on pulse rifles and scout rifles since it was introduced like a couple weeks back.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
enjoying the hell out of it. It makes it more fun for me to use these weapons than it did before. The big
yeah,
thing I'm looking forward to is being able to use other mods with that full auto feature and not have to worry about it going forward. So that's something I'm looking forward to. There's so much about this expansion I'm looking forward to. And even though we were off the rails for a little bit there talking about this
yeah.
and
We
that
went full
other stuff.
circle.
Yeah. But it is, we have been going for over an hour, and this is normally where we need to call it quits. I actually definitely need to call it quits for this week's episode because I need to go and hang out with the missus for a little bit. And
I get it.
I'm pretty sure you would like to go and relax and enjoy the rest of your day. But thank you guys for watching. We do appreciate you guys tuning in. We will maybe be back next week if you missed the opening part of the show this week. We may pre-record next week's episode. Nothing has been definitively determined. We'll probably figure out that tomorrow when he and I are on. So, but we will talk to you guys again next week for another episode of the Road to Nowhere podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, adios.